morning, everyone. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Calling the roll for the Monday, March 31st, 2025 Board of Control meeting. It is 11 a.m. We have Trevor Macular serving as an alternate for Emeritus Turner.
Here.
Joseph Nani serving as an alternate for Michael Hauser.
Here.
Councilmember Robert Schlepper.
Here.
Mike Dever.
Here.
Michael Chambers, Fiscal Officer, serving as Chairman.
Here.
Paul Porter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is the review and the approval of the minutes from March 31st. I will make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Schlepper. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? The item is approved. Any public comment?
No public comment.
Let's move to our first item.
New items for review. First item, BC 2025-233, Department of Public Works submitting an amendment to a contract with CFM Incorporated for sprinkler system maintenance services at various county buildings for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025, for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $20,000, effective upon signatures of all parties.
Good morning, everyone. Tom Pavich, Public Works. This is an amendment to our contract holder, CFM, Carefree Maintenance. They provide services and repairs to all the county buildings. The sprinkler systems, I believe we have them at 6 of our buildings, Animal Shelter, Justice Center, Juvenile Justice Center, Huntington Park, et cetera. We're just looking to add $20,000. We're still in the original two-year period, which, the original contract was competitively bid out.
Mr. Pavish, thank you. Are there questions from the board? Seeing no questions, I will make the motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. McAleer. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item?
Next item, BC 2025-234, Department of Public Works submitting an amendment to a contract with Anthony Allega Cement Contractor Incorporated for rehabilitation of Garfield Boulevard from Warner Road to Turney Road in the city of Garfield Heights for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $238,486.36.
Morning, Eric Mack, Public Works. This is due to changes out in the field because of the existing sewer pipes locations relative to the other utilities. So that's what accounted for this whole change order.
Thank you, Eric. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make the motion to approve it. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilman Schlepper. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item?
Next item, BC 2025-235, Department of Public Works submitting an amendment to a contract number 4751, formerly known as contract number 3392, now known as contract number 4777, for organic lawn care and weed control services for the period August 16, 2023 through December 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2025 with Reed Pro Limited for an assignment and assumption of services to Lawn Squad Holdco Incorporated, effective upon signatures of all parties, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $49,000.
Good morning, Tom Pavich again, Public Works. This is an amendment to the Lawn Squad, formerly known as Weed Pro contract. They provide all of the lawn services to all the county buildings. I believe there's 11 buildings, as well as 23 pump stations in the communities. We're just looking to add the additional year, add funds, and then do the official name change in the system.
Thank you, Tom. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing none, I will make the motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Nani. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is
Thank you.
approved.
Let the record reflect Katie Gallagher, alternate for Chris Ronay, County Executive, is now present.
All righty, next item?
Next item, BC 2025-235, Department of Public Works submitting an amendment to contract number 47, oh, sorry, I already did that one.
Yep.
Next item, BC 2025-236, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to Advisic Technologies LLC and the amount not to exceed $90,885.81 for the purchase of HPE Synergy hardware, various accessories and support, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Brianna Witt for the Department of Information Technology. This purchase is for a server chassis, which holds the blades, and 2 server blades for the GIS, which will be paid from the Real Estate Assessment Fund. We do want to note that we checked with the law department, we checked Ohio Revised Code. This chassis can hold in the future an HHS blade we will be acquiring. So we double checked that. REA can pay for that as the space would be available with no additional costs.
You check with law on that?
Yep.
Okay. I have a little bit of a problem with that one, but I also noticed that the accounting unit on this one is actually general fund. It's not the real estate assessment one.
We can double check that. It should be IT 305-100. So my apologies on that.
Double check that one because I still have an issue. If it's going to be used for HHS, those REA dollars can only be used for REA. So I mean, if we buy it, they can certainly, you know, pay something for it or towards it, but we can't supplant that to them. So I think we
Okay.
need to look at that a little bit further.
All right.
Can we just approve it pending the correct
Yeah,
code?
this, as long as the funding source is correct on there, we can adjust the accounting unit in the system without having to hold it for approval.
Okay, but I do want to get that opinion again, or else we'll bring it back, all right? I want to look at that.
Yeah.
It sounded like the opinion was we can make the purchase with the real estate assessment fund dollars, and it was a question of if there's extra space that we could add a blade to later, could we do that for HHS? But this initial purchase is all real estate assessment fund.
That's correct. For the chassis, there'll be additional space that'll be unused.
So at the time, then they can add a HHS
Yes,
blade.
and then
in the future.
if GIS needs the space, then we'll have to find another location for the HHS blade.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Brianna.
So my apologies, didn't clarify that better.
Okay, no, good. With that being said, then, I will make a motion to approve this. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. McAleer. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the item is approved. Next item, please.
Next, item BC 2025-237, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to Nearmap US Incorporated and the amount not to exceed $182,292.19 for a joint cooperative purchase of Nearmap Ortho-Oblique Imagery and GIS Integration Subscription Services effective upon signatures of all parties for a period of 1 year and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning again, Brianna Witt for the Department of Information Technology. This will be a purchase for a subscription to the GIS. This is images, overhead images, so Nearmap would fly planes, and they take images of the county, and we're purchasing a subscription service, so we have access to those images, use those for the GIS, real estate. The previous vendor had failed to do the flyover and produce new images, so we canceled that contract. We did not make any payment to them, and so we're moving with Nearmap as the next alternative.
Thank you, Brianna. Are there questions from the board on this one? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Dever. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-238, Department of Information Technology recommending an award on RQ 14169 and submitting a contract with UMA Incorporated and the amount not to exceed $100,000 for migration of analog telephones to cellular services, hardware, data, phone service, and support for a period of 2 years, effective upon signatures of all parties.
Good morning, Brianna Witt for the Department of Information Technology. This service with UMA is going to help us evaluate all of the existing analog lines, the hard lines. They go to our various alarms, elevators, 911 services. We need to transition these off of those hard analog lines. AT&T is ending that service in the future. They are charging additional funds for that. This is the service that will let us analyze the lines and determine which lines we can migrate over to a cell service.
Okay, thank you again. Are there questions from the board? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve it. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilman Schlepper. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. Next item? Thank you.
Next item, BC 2025-239, Court of Common Pleas, Juvenile Court Division, submitting amendments to agreements with various municipalities for community diversion program services for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2026, to replace the insurance requirements effective January 1st, 2025, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $10,200 as listed for items A and B on the printed agenda.
Good morning, Jennifer Howard for Juvenile Court. This is an amendment for our community diversion programs with the two municipalities listed for additional funds and to extend the time period to December 31st of 2026.
Thank you, Jennifer. Are there questions from the board on this item? Okay, seeing no questions, I will make the motion to approve it. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Schlepper. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Oppose? Item approved. Next item.
Next, item BC 2025-240, Court of Common Pleas, Juvenile Court Division, submitting an amendment to a contract with Change the Narrative LLC for positive youth development services for court-referred male youths ages 12 to 18 with high risk for recidivism for the period July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2026, to change the insurance requirements effective July 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $19,932.90.
Again, Jennifer Howard for Juvenile Court. This is to amend a current contract that we have with our Reclaim grant with Change the Narrative to extend the time period to June of 2026 and to add additional funding to this contract.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you. Are there questions from the board on this one?
I had just a brief question, if I may, through the chair.
please.
Yes.
When we talk about the change in insurance requirements, can you just shed a little bit of light on that, please?
Based on when we did this contract initially, it's just to update the insurance requirements from that time till now.
Okay, any additional questions? Okay, seeing none, I will make a motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Schlepper. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2025-241, Sheriff's Department submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to FDL Marine Incorporated, DBA Edgewater Marina, and the amount not to exceed $22,550.25 for the purchase of fuel for marine patrol boat operations in connection with the Operation Stone Garden Grant Program for the period April 21st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Chris Costin, Sheriff's Department. This purchase order is for fuel for our marine boat that we put out in the waters, and this will get us through the end of the year.
Okay, Chris, thank you. Chris, I had a question.
Yes.
Does that grant cover like their time too, or is that just for the fuel? I know it
Oh,
says
so the-
fuel here, but I was just curious.
No, the grant, we're splitting up between three different grants. We got your 21, 22, and 23 grants. Your grants usually start at September and end June 30th, like year and a half later. So we
Okay.
put them in different grants where we could spend the money down.
All right, but this is strictly for fuel.
This one's strictly for the fuel purchase order.
Okay. All right, are there any other questions from the board? Seeing no questions, I will make the motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Is that Mr. McAleer, I believe? Seconded by Mr. McAleer. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. Next item, please.
Next item, BC 2025-242, Medical Examiner's Office submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to Promega Corporation and the amount not to exceed $366,068.60 for the purchase of one Spectrum CE system and two Maxwell RSC 48 systems, system software, instrumentation and accessory packages, installation services, and user training, maintenance and support services for a period of 2 years, effective upon signatures of all parties and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Hugh Shannon, Medical Examiner's Office. This is the use of our federal backlog grant to purchase new genetic analyzers for the DNA lab.
Okay, Hugh, thank you. Are there any questions from the board on this item? Seeing none, I will make the motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Schlepper. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Next, item BC 2025-243, Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Children and Family Services, submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in a payment to Bluestone Child and Adolescent Psychiatric Hospital in the amount not to exceed $32,300 as final payment for April 2024 for psychiatric hospital services for children rendered under contract number 3606 during the contract term of June 19, 2023 through June 18, 2024, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Marcos Cortez with Health and Human Services on behalf of Children and Family Services. Again, this is a purchase order to make a final payment on an expired contract. This one was a one-off contract from DCFS and it was used as needed. A child would be referred to Bluestone and they would provide an assessment on the child to determine whether that child should go home or continue in residential placement. This service has been rolled into our larger out-of-home care contract, so it will be paid out of that. Bluestone submitted a final invoice earlier this year for this service, so that's why we're coming now to make that final payment.
Okay, Marcos, thank you. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Dever. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Oppose. Item approved. Next item, please.
Next, item BC 2025-244, correcting to read from Welfare Campus to Wellness Campus. Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Children and Family Services, submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in an award recommendation to the Centers for Families and Children in the amount not to exceed $200,000 to support the salary of the Cleveland Christian Home Executive Director in connection with the launch of the Cuyahoga County Child Wellness Campus for the period January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Marcos Cortez again with Health and Human Services on behalf of Children and Family Services. This is a grant award, as we heard, to the centers to support the executive director position at the Cleveland Christian Home, which will be the site of our Child Wellness Campus. The funding comes from the Mount Sinai Foundation. This will be a 2-year grant, but we're getting 1 year at a time.
Please, Joe.
Just a quick question. The follow-up answers to the questions was that the Year 2 grant award is contingent upon successful implementation of Year 1 objectives. Do you have those so you can share?
It's part of the proposal. I will send that over.
Thank you.
Okay. Any additional questions? Seeing no further questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Dever.
Motion to approve as
Oh,
amended.
thank you, thank you. Motion to approve as amended, seconded by Mr. Dever. All in favor to approve as amended, say aye. Aye. Opposed. The item is approved as amended. Next item.
Next, item BC 2025-245, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Family and Children First Council, submitting an amendment to a contract with the Literacy Cooperative for enrollment, supportive, and analytic services for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library Program for the period March 1st, 2024 through February 28, 2025, to extend the time period to February 28, 2026, to modify the services provided under the Statement of Work in accordance with Exhibit 1A, to add Exhibit 2A representing the budget for the amendment term, to replace the insurance requirements effective March 1st, 2025, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $100,000.
Good morning, Kathleen Stewart from Family and Children First Council. This contract is for the Imagination Library to fund the Dolly Parton program, which they give books to kids birth to 5 years old. The $100,000 should have been included in the contract when I originally did it last year, so when we figured it out, this is the amendment to add that money. It was in our budget to have the contract be $200,000 total.
Thank you, Kathleen. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make the motion to approve it. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilman Schlepper. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Oppose. Item approved. Next item.
Next, item BC 2025-246, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Office of Early Childhood, submitting an RFP exemption, which will result in award recommendation to Family Connections of Northeast Ohio and the amount not to exceed $65,000 to administer a community engagement project at the Greater Cleveland Food Bank's Community Resource Center, effective upon signatures of all parties through December 31st, 2025, and submitting a contract with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Marcos Cortez again with Health and Human Services on behalf of Invest in Children. The Community Engagement Project is led by Family Connections at the Greater Cleveland Food Bank Community Resource Center. Family Connections Community Outreach Specialists will help connect families to appropriate community resources and Family Connections resources, including direct services in the Family Connections Playroom located within the food bank.
Thank you, Marcos. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Was that you, Joe? Trevor, seconded by Mr. McAleer. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-247, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Office of Homeless Services, submitting an amendment to a grant agreement with Emerald Development and Economic Network Incorporated via contract number 4981 to provide funding to support the operation and administration of the temporary emergency shelter for women located at 2710 Walton Avenue, Cleveland, for the period April 1st, 2024 through March 31st, 2025, to extend the time period to March 31st, 2026, to add Exhibit A1 budget, which represents the additional costs being added by this amendment effective April 1st, 2025, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $458,585.
Marcos Cortez again for the Office of Homeless Services. Again, this is a contract with Eden to support the maintenance of the facilities of the Walton Road Women's Shelter. This contract covers things like utilities, trash removal, maintenance and repairs, laundry, and other items related to the building's operating costs.
Okay, thank you, Marcos. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Schlepper. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2025-248, Department of Health and Human Services, Community Initiatives Division, Office of Homeless Services, submitting an amendment to a contract with Family Promise of Greater Cleveland for emergency shelter services for families in connection with the Continuum of Care program for the period September 1st, 2022 through August 31st, 2024, to extend the time period to August 31st, 2025, to add Exhibit 2B, which represents the budget for the term of this amendment effective September 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $68,800.
Marcos Cortez again. This is the third of three contracts being funded by the HUD Emergency Solutions Grant. As you may recall, the other two were presented to the board last week. This one with Family Promise of Greater Cleveland specifically is for to provide temporary housing, shelter, and support for homeless families with youth-headed families as a target subpopulation. Services are focused on ensuring that the clients exit rapidly from shelter into permanent housing.
Thank you, sir. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Porter. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on.
Moving on to consent agenda items, BC 2025-249 through BC 2025-250.
Couple little items here, board members. Feel free if there's any questions. Okay, seeing no questions, I will make the motion to approve today's consent agenda items as listed. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Nani. All in favor to approve, say aye. Aye. Opposed? They are approved. Moving on to other business.
No other business?
Any public comment?
No public comment?
I will make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Dever. All in favor to adjourn, say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Okay.